Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and if you're joining me for the first time, my name is Melissa Reed and I am an artist from Pennsylvania. So last week, if you were with me, you saw me create some of these jelly prints printed on sheets of corrugated cardboard. So just like your regular Amazon boxes or whatever you have probably lying around your house waiting to get recycled. But I thought, let's do something with these. And as I mentioned in last week's video, I got inspired by Leanne D'Aquino, who is an artist that I follow on Instagram. I will put her information and a link to her Instagram in my description again this week. Check her out if you haven't had a chance. So what I saw her doing was printing from the gel plate onto sheets of cardboard, and it instantly gave me this idea. So what I thought of immediately when I saw these was making gingerbread houses. But of course, that would have been a really cool idea if I would have thought of it about 3 or 4 weeks ago when it was seasonal. But then I thought, you know what, why does it have to be holiday themed? It doesn't. So let's make some cute little villages, or you could call them fairy houses, or whatever you might want to call them. Just little structures that you can then embellish any way you want and use as decoration or use as play for your kids, kind of whatever you feel is appropriate. So this is actually a project that would be great to do with your kids, and you can kind of adjust it up and down to the age specificity that you would need. What we're going to do today is I have made some little templates here. I'll just actually keep this here so you can see these. And this is going to be the patterns for the house. This is a 3x3 square, 2.5 by 3, and then another 3x3 but with a point at the top. And I really kind of just made up these dimensions based on the sizes that I had printed. I needed something small enough that I would be able to cut all of the necessary pieces that I would need out of the same colored piece. You can adjust these up or down to whatever you might want. So I did a little prototype here, and I'm glad I did because it gave me a minute to realize that I was being kind of dumb. And so this is what I had come up with here using, it was this pattern on the main body of the house here, and then the little flowers. And I didn't even think about the fact that I'm gonna want that filled in too. So when I then made my adjustments, I made this, this piece here, which is going to be this size of the house. Again, this was just a little prototype. I cut some windows and doors into it, and I attached everything with my glue gun, and it's pretty sturdy. I haven't been able to destroy it. I mean, you know, it's cardboard, so of course you could, but it's gonna hold up for whatever you might want as far as that goes. So I'm gonna just start here by getting some of these pieces cut out. And what's gonna be really fun, I think, is in the embellishing stages afterward. I did not do any of that with this, but this is where your Posca pens and collage or anything else that you might want to do can really shine. You can paint on these. And again, this is where you could bring your kids into the mix. If you have older kids, they could do this whole process with you. If you have younger ones who you don't want using the X-Acto knives and sharp tools, you can cut the pieces out for them. Or you could even go as far as to just take, you know, a plain sheet of your corrugated cardboard, and if you've got all of those hundreds of jelly prints lying around, like I know some of you do because I do too, you don't even have to print on the cardboard. You can just glue them straight down and do them that way, or make your little houses and then collage the papers right on. It's kind of so many opportunities to just really be creative here and see what you can come up with. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and I will be right back with you. Okay, so for this first combo, I'm picking two patterns here, one for the main body of the house and one for the roof. You could do all of the same. I just didn't make enough of the same pattern to make it all the same, and I think it's going to look more interesting if you change it up anyway. So I don't know if you remember this one from last week, but it's that one that kind of looked like a vintage wallpaper. It's the pale pink, and it has the copper design on top of it. It's very subtle, but really pretty. And I have this other pink one that I printed with lace that I had. I laid down the black on the plate first, printed the lace, and then pulled it up with this light pink color. So what I'm going to do is trace the shape of the walls first onto my my paper, my board here. I'm going to try to use the straight edges that I have been given with this cardboard as much as possible, just to make it easier. And you're gonna need 2 of each of these shapes, 1 for each side. And then for the roof, you'll need 2 of the shapes as well. So obviously this is going to be the main shape of this face of the house there. And this thinner 2.5 by 3 is going to be the other walls. So try to find the best printed side. I'm going to use this here. And my mom got me this little cutting tool. It's a little circular cutter, and it works pretty well with the cardboard. Incidentally, this is just copy paper. You could definitely make these patterns on something a little more durable. If you're going to make multiples, it's probably not a bad idea, but for my purposes for demonstration here today, this is going to be just fine. So that is going to be the sides of my house there, you can see. And then I'm just going to go ahead and trace the roof too. I started one here that I thought I was going to use, but then I decided I was going to use this as the roof panels instead. And this is the 3 by 3. And I'm not worried about this being super straight, because when I cut, I'm going to use a straight edge to guide my cutter. So this is basically just a guide for my straight edge to just find the right dimensions here. So I will go ahead and start with this one first. So I'm going to get my ruler here on my little cutting board and just line that up. And whoops, this is actually the cutting tool that I got here. It's a little circular cutter. It has a safety on it, and I've found that I can just line this up right next to the straight edge. It makes a nice clean cut just like that. So let me cut the rest of this off. Sorry, it's very hard to like concentrate and talk to you guys at the same time. And you can go back over if you need to finish the cuts. I also, if you don't have one of these, you definitely don't need it. I used an X-Acto knife for some of it. You could use a box cutter. I mean, as long as you have something with a sharp edge, and just be very careful. Like I said before, if you are doing this with your kids, you know, depending on their age, might not be something that you would want them to do. So I've got my 2 little rooftop pieces here that are going to look like that. And then I'm going to go in with this my same tools here and just cut and if they're not perfectly straight, you know, it's not the end of the world. It does make life a little bit easier, but I am going to go in with this X-Acto knife here just to get that corner. A little hard to get that in there with the circular cutter, but very easy to do with the X-Acto. And I mean, you can do all kinds of shapes. I just wanted to do kind of a basic one to get the idea out there, but then I was thinking you could do like little curved structures to make little fairy houses and all kinds of cool things, which I may end up doing sometime just because it seems like it would be fun. And, you know, I'm doing this with my gel printed cardboard, but you could do it with anything. I mean, it doesn't have to necessarily be gel prints. I have a lot of them. I enjoy doing it, and that's what inspired me to actually do this whole project. So that's why I wanted to do it that way. But you've got all this cardboard hanging around. I mean, there's no reason to not just take your paints out, or, you know, whatever media you like to work in. And the beauty of it is this was going to be trash anyway. So if it turns out that you don't like what you come up with, no big loss. Or, you know, if you want to change it up for different seasons or different reasons, or you just really enjoy making them and want to keep making them, there's really nothing lost there. I mean, other than the time that you spent, but I don't think that's wasted as long as you're enjoying yourself. So you could certainly make as many of these as you wanted, and just, if you don't want to keep them around or if they get damaged, it was going out in the recycling anyway. So kind of one of those cool projects that lets you reuse some things. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. That was the wrong piece. That's okay because I cut what I needed off of there anyway. Maybe since I have that piece, we'll do like a hodgepodge one, because no rules and there's no reason why you couldn't have different patterns on different sides. Okay, so you've got all of your little house pieces here. This is going to be your roof. And what I did to join mine was use my glue gun, which I have heating up over here. I'm going to take this out of the way, and this is just a sheet of scrap paper. It's an old pickup sheet from doing my gel printing. So what I'm going to do first, though, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I want to put some windows in here because I have those little flameless candles, and I think that would look really cute on the inside here. So I am going to just freehand just some, maybe like a little door. Put a little door here. I'm not going to take it all the way to the bottom. And you certainly don't have to freehand it. I just didn't feel like going through the hassle of measuring it all out. I'm going to put a door. Maybe I'll do, I don't know, maybe like just a little window above the door. You could certainly be a little more precise than I'm being, but you get the picture there. And I'll put a couple of, that's going to go in the back. Let's do some on the sides. We'll put like one window in each side. And you can get fancy with these windows, and you can cut out individual squares to make like the little cross shape with the panes, but I'm going to keep it simple and just cut out some basic square shapes. I did attempt to do some circular shapes, and of course you can do that. I did that with my X-Acto knife. Just be aware that because this is corrugated, it's a little more difficult to cut curves, and you can certainly do it. Just you really have to take your time, because the blade is going to get bound up on each one of those little corrugations on the inside, and it is going to catch, and you're not going to have a perfect curve. But if that doesn't bother you, then I recommend you just go for it. I'll put 2 in this one. So how I'm going to do this today, I'm going to walk you through this first one real time. And then I am going to do a couple of others and speed them up so that you're not seeing the same thing over and over in a manner that's going to take 3 hours, because nobody wants that, I'm sure. And then we'll get to the embellishing part, and I will show you how all of that goes. I'm actually going to speed up cutting out these windows for you because this gets a little tedious and tends to take a little bit of time. So I'll be right back with you. So I've got everything cut out now. These are all the different pieces that I've got here. Obviously that's going to go like that. And your house is going to be built that way. These are the pieces I cut out. I don't have any plans on using them for anything. If you wanted to, I don't know, you could always glue them on another one as some sort of embellishment if you wanted to. I'm not going to go that route, I don't think. So I'm just going to actually put these in my trash can. And I've got my glue gun all heated up over here. I honestly don't even know what kind of glue gun that is or where I got it from. I have had it forever. So any old glue gun would work, and you can pick those up, I think, just about anywhere these days. All right, so I'm just going to get started gluing these together. Oh, it's drippy. And I'm going to work kind of quickly because, as you know, glue guns kind of just dry pretty quick. which is good because then you don't have to sit here and hold it for very long. I am going to hold it there just for a minute and get glue everywhere apparently, but hey, that's all right. And I'm going to take this guy next. Hold that there for a second. Make sure I'm not sticking down to anything underneath that I don't want to be. And these strings we can just pull off after the fact. Do this one two at a time. And you've got the basic structure going there. I love this pattern on this one. It's so subtle and delicate, but just really pretty. And these I made slightly bigger, you'll notice from the dimensions, just so that there would be a little bit of an overhang and it would look a little more like a natural roof. So I'm actually going to just glue these on the same way. I can get some glue in there. I'll get this first one down. Does that look about right? No. There we go. Sometimes it takes me a minute to be logical, but here we go. All right. Do this side. And the nice thing is once everything is cut out, these come together super fast, so you can get to the fun part really quickly. And then on this one, I'm just gonna also put a little glue up there. And you'll obviously want to be a little more careful than I'm being when you're doing yours, but I mean, this worked and I really wasn't that careful. So it shows you kind of how forgiving and everything it is. And I mean, it is a glue gun, so you can always just very quickly, you know, if you make a mistake that you see right away, just pull it off. I wouldn't wait too long to try to do it because like I said, it's on there. You could still pry it apart, but because of the cardboard, you kind of run the risk of like having some of your design peel off. But there's your cute little house. I mean, I think that's adorable. I don't know. You can let me know what you think of it. This is certainly not like a fine art or anything. Like I said last week, this is going to be way more on the crafty side, but I just got the idea and I thought, how fun is that? So I'm going to go ahead and get a couple more of these constructed, and then I will be right back with you to do some embellishing. Okay, I took a few minutes to put a couple more houses together here, and now I'm going to start with the embellishing. And I had the idea while I was constructing those to use that hydrangea punch, that you see there. You've seen this in some of my other videos. I can put a link to one of those at the end for you here. And also, I bought that on Amazon, and I have a link to that in my affiliate link section of my description of this video. So if you are interested, you can check that out as well. So what I did, I used a little bit of just a black, I forget what that's called. It's like cardstock, but it has a different name. Bristol board, maybe? I honestly can't remember, but it's basically black cardstock. You could use that or any other color, whatever you want. That punch definitely works much better, though, if you use a little bit of a heavier paper. And you can see there, I just got all of those little hydrangeas cut out, and then I used a little bit of tacky glue to tack them down on there. And what I did was bend the petals up a little bit so that they would be dimensional. I just thought that was super cute. I was going to then do each house different, but to kind of bring them all together, because I'll have them displayed all together, I decided to carry that theme throughout. So this was actually an old gel print that I had It was from when I used gold leaf on the gel plate, and I'll actually put a link to that video for you at the end as well. I just have a couple little scraps left, which I didn't really think about doing the whole house when I started laying those down. So I was actually only able to do this front section with that until I ran out. But that paint that I used there is the same paint that I used in the print on that cardboard, which I still have that tube of paint. So what I decided to do then was to just get that same color paint out to do the rest of it. But in the meantime there, I went in with my Posca pen to outline around the houses a little bit. Excuse me. And I just did that to kind of make it stand out a little bit. I did that on, I think, all of them, or at least not the first one, but the last two, and I liked the way that it looked. So here I am with, that's my little hodgepodge house that had all the little like leftover pieces of cardboard that I used. And again, I just went ahead and did some more gluing of those little hydrangea flowers down just to carry that theme over. With this one, I went in and colored the middle of the flowers yellow. I didn't with the other ones. You could honestly do whatever you wanted to do. You could do all different colors of flowers or whatever whatever you were doing to attach on there. The possibilities are absolutely endless with this. I just saw the little flower punch and it gave me an idea because I absolutely love that little guy, and I think it turned out really cute. It kind of made the little houses look a little bit whimsical, like they could be little fairy houses or something. But I like that I used the black the whole way through because it did kind of tie them all together, because there are a lot of different colors and patterns going on. Not that it really matters, you could do whatever you wanted, but that's what I chose to do. So here I have that little blue one back out again, and there's the paint that I was talking about before, and I just went along all of the seams there and kind of just outlined everything to make it stand out a little bit better for me before I add the flowers onto this one. Again, I just went in and cut out a few more rounds of the hydrangea flowers there, and I'm just using that skewer to kind of poke the center down so that it sticks, so that I can continue to keep those petals standing up, because I just like the way that looks. It adds a little bit of more interest and dimensionality to it. I just think these are super fun and super cute. And I would love to hear what you all think about them and what ideas you might have for doing your own. And incidentally, if any of you have YouTube channels, or if you have a social media presence like Instagram or Facebook or something where I could look at some of your pieces if you're interested in sharing them with me, please drop a link in the comments, because I would be more than happy to check out any of those things or give you a follow. But here we go. This is how they look all finished up, and I have my little flameless candles in there. Definitely use flameless. I feel like I shouldn't have to say that, but I'm going to, because I don't want to see anybody's real house burn down. So I just love the way these look. I think they are super cute, and I really hope that you all give them a try and let me know what you come up with. And again, thank you to everybody that stuck with me through this video. I know this one was a little longer than I typically do, but it kind of had to be just to get all of my descriptions and everything in there. But if you liked what you saw here, give me a thumbs up. It really helps out my channel. And if you like what you see and would like to see more, give me a subscribe. I put out a new video every single Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and I would like to see you again. Have a great day.